Hi, everybody. I'm Evan.
And I'm Grayson.
And today we're starting a series here on YouTube where we go through our top 3 games of every letter of the alphabet.
And today is A.
Yep, starting with A. So we're going to go through our top 3 and see what we think of these. Okay. My number 3 is Ancient Terrible Things, which is a dice rolling game with really great art that I've had for quite a while now.
I played it.
Yeah, I've played it. Yeah, I think we did pretty good that time too. But anyway, you're basically traveling down this river on a riverboat, visiting these different locations. So there's locations on each side, and then cards go out into these locations randomly.
And then there's monsters and stuff.
There's monsters and there's like weird pits and creepy statues and stuff, weird stuff to investigate. But all you're really doing is trying to roll the combination of dice that is listed on that card.
And there's items to help with that.
Yeah, so after you visit the
spot,
the location, there's a market where you can go trade some of the things that you earned for items that can help manipulate those dice. But at its heart, it's just like a Yahtzee type game where you're trying to hold different combinations. But I don't know. The art is really cool, and that's really what draws me to it. So. Yeah, that's my number 3. Ancient Terrible Things.
My number 3 is Altiplano, because you're drawing out of this bag so you can get the chips and stuff to go buy stuff on the board.
Yeah, everybody has their own bag that you're adding chips to throughout the game.
And there's random locations that you have to go to.
Yeah,
they're all randomized.
Right, so it's mostly like a resource management type game, right?
You can also go to and up this track that lets you draw even more chips out of your bag.
Right.
So you can do more stuff on your turn.
Right, which is what you want to do. But yeah, you want to just try to get points by
buying boats and houses.
Yep. Yeah, that's a really good one. It's a really fun bag building type mechanism. Yeah, cool.
What's your number 2?
Oh boy, my number 2 is Above and Below, which is a awesome game. Where you're it's not a storytelling game exactly. It's more like a city building game because you start with one little hut and a couple of workers, and throughout the game you have to go out and explore to be able to buy more buildings.
And there's some weird stuff when you explore.
There is, yeah. There's a cool book of paragraphs. It's like I said, it's not really a storytelling. There's just paragraphs where we have decisions to make. So when you bring your people along, they have certain amount of action points, basically lanterns. I think they are
to use, so you can manipulate those dice in your favor.
Yeah, because you end up having to roll the dice, but you can still exhaust the people. But anyway, you make those decisions, and then you get resources, and then you'll use those resources to buy buildings or resources to make your points higher or whatever. Yeah. And then when you do that, you excavate underneath. So you have a building above, and then you can buy a building from below. And basically everything is just going to end up being for points. But it's a weird game because it always feels like it should be longer. Like there should be more rounds to do more stuff. But I think
it doesn't feel like it, but it works out how it actually
does. So by the end, you're able to buy one really, really good card, which
would help you win the game.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, but that's Above and Below, and that's a really fun one.
My number 2 is the Artemist Project. And you have to place your dice everywhere to get these resources to build some stuff.
Well, yeah, so you're on the moon of Europa, right?
Yeah.
So
which is a Jupiter
which
moon.
You're mining for stuff.
Resources,
yeah.
And there's a bunch of meeples that help you build buildings and excavate stuff.
Right, there's different workers that do different sorts of things.
But you can use your a higher number die to bump people out to get more resources, because all the resources are limited. Right,
so it's a dice placement mechanism where there's a little track. So the person who puts the highest die will be at the front of the line, right? But then if somebody puts an even higher numbered die,
then
it gets bumped off. So the resources
down.
are limited. So bump down,
might
right?
Not get that much.
Yeah,
resources.
You thought you were going to get 4, and 2 6s bump you down, then you end up only getting 1.
Yeah.
So it can be kind of mean in that way, but it's really fun.
What's your number 1?
Ooh, my number 1. Yeah, this is a game that we've been playing for a long time. It's basically just a card game with some random location tiles, and that's Archaeology.
Same as mine.
The new expedition, yeah. Me and him have been playing that game for a really long time together. But it plays up to 6, but it also works really well at any player count.
Yeah, it works well from 2 to 6.
Yeah. So it's basically, yeah, just a deck of cards with
You draw the cards, and then
artifacts that you're, digging up.
and you want to collect all, like, the most of that card. So you can sell it at the museum for a bunch of points.
Right, you can, if you only have 2 of something, you can still sell it, but if you collect, 5 or 6 of that, the value goes up.
And there's the 4 Pharaoh's Masks, which give you a whole bunch of points if you get all of them.
Yeah, there's only 4 of them in the whole game, so if you can get all 4, you get a ton of points, but
People hoard those.
People are going to hoard those, but those hoarders are often punished because there's something in the deck called a sandstorm, yeah. And those sandstorms will blow half of the cards from your hand back into the market. So you can trade to get those items back, but then everybody can try to get those items.
Yep. And that means your Pharaoh's Masks might be gone.
Yeah, you can only hold on to them for so long before you sell them to the museum, in which case they're safe.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a really great one. So definitely my number 1
So is
game,
mine.
even though it's it's a pretty simple game,
Yeah.
but it's good in its simplicity. So yeah, well that's it. That's our top 3
For
the letter A.
Next up is B.
Yeah, next up is B. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I guess we'll see you next time. Bye.